Well, I'm sure it works, and you've got to have faith it'll work, or else you'd be reduced to some kind of, mumbling idiot.
Misfits, drifters, but not Ted Bundy.
Here is a man who seemingly had everything. He's intelligent, he's charismatic, he's handsome. He was on his way in the Republican Party. I thought he would be governor of Washington now rather than going to the chair.
Or unaware that they may be a Ted Bundy who has that vulnerability.
Those that had known the charismatic young Ted were dumbstruck.
When Ted Bundy was arrested, I was absolutely flabbergasted. I remember my stomach dropping out.
Ted Bundy was in custody again, but his capture would spell just the beginning of an extraordinary 11-year circus.
If he is the center of attention, it worked well at the prison because inmates liked him because he knew legal stuff and he helped them with their briefs. He was very friendly, and so most of the officers liked him. I liked him. Very pleasant, you know. When I first met him, he came up, and this was to do a psychological assessment for the court to decide if he's going to spend the next several years in prison. He walks up and says, "Hi, I'm Ted Bundy." You know, very friendly, very superficial, very secretive.
No one who knew him would connect the charismatic young Ted Bundy with the man who'd now abducted at least 8 women.
My friend and myself commented when it came up that summer that there was a clue of somebody by the name of Ted that had a Volkswagen, and we commented and joked that, you know, maybe it's Ted because he's never here, but of course that was really something we didn't consider because of his characteristics. You would never imagine that he would be involved in something like that.
In the courtroom, Bundy is lost to reality. He feels the eyes of the nation upon him, and he revels in the spotlight. He is famous.
My name's Ted Bundy.
He was a very smooth, very well-educated, very deceptive type individual. He was the type of person that anyone would say that no, it would be impossible for him to be involved in anything such as this.
In there, through their eyes, they had the idea that he was very smooth talking, that he was exceptionally intelligent, that he was not a sloppy talker, that he was not a sloppy dresser, that he was very polished, that he was good looking in their eyes. Most of the women that were approached, you might say that they were intrigued by the offer. What happens after that initial confrontation is something they can't predict, and it's something that we cannot, as law enforcement people, protect against.
When Bundy was finally jailed, they were surprised.
Every citizen who believes in law and order should spend a couple weeks there and learn how it works. There's some pretty far-out people and some pretty good people in there. Not to say whether or not they're guilty or innocent, but it's a great education.
How could such an articulate, charismatic person have committed such gruesome crimes?
Unusually for a serial killer, he was also very attractive to women, which was why so many girls fatally allowed themselves to be picked up by him.
Ted Bundy was a charmer. He charmed the shoes off of him.
He was thoughtful, charismatic.
He was an enjoyable, likable, attractive person.
I was really afraid that he got deeper into my mind. than I ever got into his. Still don't really know who was in control, and that bothers me to this day. Bundy was a master of his game.
It's a tragedy to this court to see that such a total waste, I think, of humanity that I've experienced in this courtroom. You're a bright young man. If you made a good lawyer, I'd love to have you practice in front of you, but you went another way, partner. Take care of yourself. I don't have any animosity to you. I want you to know that. Take care of yourself. Thank you.
So was he born to kill? There had to be something in this child's genetic makeup that said, all you need is this certain environmental trigger, and then you'll be able to start your fate.
I've absolutely no doubt that Ted Bundy had a set of circumstances in his childhood which were very unusual and potentially incredibly damaging. Ted Bundy was not born to be a serial killer. It was a choice that he made as he grew up and felt that there was no other way of resolving some of his underlying psychological problems.
Bundy himself gave Corrections Officer Paul Decker a chilling insight into the motives for his crimes.
He was resting and kind of relaxed at that point, and I said something to him about, Ted, why did you, what did you do all this for? And he says, I liked it. There was no discussion about, oh, it was a mental problem that drove me to it, or any kind of a thing like that. He just enjoyed it. It's a terrifying thought.